Welcome to this tour of the Read and Write Gold research and study functions. To get started, double-click the purple puzzle piece on your desktop screen. When it opens, a small toolbar will appear in about the center of your screen. Left-click on that with your mouse and hold down, drag it to the top of the screen and release to show your entire toolbar. Now, to make sure we are in the Research Features toolbar, we'll click on the menu button drop-down, go to Current Toolbar, and you'll see that we're at Study Skills Features. We want to be at Research Features, so let's click there. And all of the research features open up, and you can see it's confirmed by the little pop-up. The research tools are Dictionary, Picture Dictionary, the audio buttons, play, pause, and stop, Speechmaker, a scanner, Fact Finder, Fact Folder, FactMapper, Translator, PDF Aloud, several different colors of highlighters, a way to clear those highlights, and a way to collect them. Also a vocabulary list, a word cloud, and a voice note. I'm going to open a document that I have here, and we'll just get started right away. Let's start with the dictionary. The dictionary is very easy to use. Let's say I want to look up a word I don't recognize. Let's say plaintiff. Highlight the word and then click Dictionary. And you see that a definition is a person who brings an action in a court of law. If you click here, you see that you have different options. You have advanced definitions, basic definitions. You can see there's not even one showing up for basic. Web definitions, which is basically a Google search that will open right up here in your screen. Word Wizard is a find function. I've discovered that students get most benefit from the advanced and the basic definitions features. I'm going to leave it at advanced. There we go. Picture Dictionary works a little differently. You click the icon first, then highlight a word you want to look at. So we have this pop-up feature here, and let's say I want to see if there's a picture for segregation. There is no match for that. Let's see if there's a picture for plaintiff. Again, no match for that. Let's look for inference. There we have it. You have a couple of different images that represent inference. If you'd like to create a visual to go with your word, you can double click one of these images and it will place it right beside the word you had highlighted. At this point, it's just a piece of clip art. You can move it around or you can delete it altogether. The play feature is key to Read and Write Gold. It's what reads your text to you. So in order to make it work, you can see I've selected Read by Sentence and automatically read the next block of text because those are my preferences. You can select whatever you like. In order for this to read back to us, though, we have to select Use Screen Reading. Now, screen reading means that everything on the screen will be read to you, and you'll hear that in just a moment. Everything I hover over gets read to me. In order to read the document, click where you want to start and then push the play button.
But by the early 1950s, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, NAACP, was working hard to challenge segregation laws and
so you see how that works. I'm going to disable screen reading right now because it literally reads everything you hover over. So you saw how some of the words or the sentence was highlighted in yellow and then words were highlighted in blue as they were read. You can actually change that. If you go to Speech Options and click Highlight, yellow and blue is the default. I like that, so I left mine that way, but you can change it by clicking here and you have a variety of color selections that you can choose from. You can also choose to highlight when speaking the document. You can even say that you don't want any highlighting at all. Those are your options, and you're welcome to pick whichever works best for you. And just make sure you always click OK when you're finished. Before we leave here, we're going to go ahead and go to Say Like, because as we know, not all words have easy pronunciations. ASU is one of those. Now, we look at it and we see it in all caps and we realize, I'm going to delete the picture dictionary there. Okay, we look at it and we realize, oh, I know to say that ASU because it's in all caps, but the software doesn't realize that unless we tell it to. So it pronounces ASU like this, as you. So in order for us to make it say ASU, we have to put punctuation in between the letters, A period, S period, U period, to get this.
ASU.
And then I would click Save to save that. If you have a new word you'd like to add, click here and do that. This is just the phonetic spelling. Then let's move on to the speech option. You have several options here. I have US Ava as my speaker, but you can have US Tom or Mexican Spanish Paulina. You can adjust the pitch, you can adjust the speed, the volume, and the amount of time they pause on each word. If you click this box, you can also use your arrow keys to change speed. If you by chance happen to click things by accident on your keyboard like I do, that can really mess you up sometimes. So I unselect mine. And we will click OK. Speechmaker is a nice tool. Let's say you study best by having things read back to you, or if you hear them aloud, maybe you just don't enjoy reading. This is a great tool for that. To turn this text into a recording, I simply highlight it and then click the icon. When I click it, you see that all of the text I highlighted shows up here. And now it's asking me to save it somewhere. So I'm going to browse, I'm going to save it on my desktop, and I'm going to name it desegregation and save. Now I've selected my voice. I'm going to say create. And once this pop-up appears, that means you have a file recorded on your desktop or wherever you decided to save it. Here's mine. I'm going to open that up.
By the early 1950s, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored.
And there you have your note. So if you had a page of notes, I mean, this would be a really handy tool, and you could set it up so that you could play it back or listen to it wherever you normally listen to music. We won't review the scanner option because our computers are not connected to scanners. However, if you'd like to know how to use it, you can watch the scanning video tour here. Let's go to Fact Finder now. This also opens a Google search. Click the icon and you see you have a manual text search appears. I'm going to search for volcanoes. My results will appear. And I'll just go to, I don't want to go to Wikipedia. I'll go here. Okay, so now I have found some information that I'd like to read. And let's say I find some facts that are very important to my research. So let's select this sentence. To collect that fact, I highlight it and then I click the fact folder. It opens up and here you see the information I highlighted, the date it's accessed, the author as me because I am the one taking the note, and categories and descriptions. So this is going to give you a bibliography option. You see here, if I leave this information, there's no way it's going to be correct. I didn't write this article. So what I would do in this case if I wanted help with my bibliography, I removed myself as author and I'm going to put in USGS Volcano Hazards Program. and click OK. Now what I didn't do there was select a category. So let me show you another one. Let's say we want to select this information. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to click the fact folder again and get the pop-up. Again, it's going to be the USGS. And for my description, I'm going to copy and paste the link since it did not show up as a source. I'm going to pick a category. You see, I've done some other research. I'm going to pick the one that this fits under, and I'm going to say OK. Now, when I want to access this information, simply go to the Fact Folders drop-down menu, say Review Facts. I'll have several pop up, and you see I have 3 about volcanoes. So I'm going to click in each box and export that to a Word document. It's going to ask me a bibliography format, and I'll say MLA, although keep in mind that the format will not be correct because we did not have all of the information input correctly. So it takes a minute, but then your Word document appears. Here's our first note, a second note, and apparently a repeat note that I had previously copied in. As you see here, the bibliography is not exactly correct, so you'd want to follow up with it and double check it against something like Purdue OWL's bibliography information pages or one of your handbooks that specifies your bibliography needs for your class. Okay, let's move on to the FactMapper. FactMapper is basically a graphic organizer. You see there's no drop-down menu with it, so there is no video tour of it. That's okay though, because it's just that easy. If you hover over each tool on this toolbar, you'll see the function. This is undo, redo, paste, edit. There's add an element, delete an element, add a link, delete a link, brainstorm, and there's where you arrange your facts. And this is selecting the current view. Your file is here, so if you want to save it, you can click here and it will open up. So let me show you how this works. Let's say I want to start a graphic organizer. I'm going to click here to create an element. Let's say I want to create a list of the 50 states and their capitals. So I'm going to put 50 states. 50 states in US. And now I want to link it to all 50 states. So I'm going to have to create 50 items here. I won't do that for the sake of time, obviously. So click on the original box and then click Add Element. And now let's put Alabama. And then let's click on it again, click New Element, and let's put Alaska. And now we'll keep doing that. We'll do Arkansas, although we probably should have done Arizona first alphabetically. That's okay though. Okay, so now we want to add the capitals of each. So I would pick Arkansas, do the element, and say Little Rock. I won't go through all of them, and we'll go on through. You can see you could add more here. You could add links to these. So here we have arranged facts, and we've got to decide, do we want it to go left to right, right to left, top to bottom, bottom to top? I'm going to select top down and then say OK. And then there you have the start of our graphic organizer. Let's move on now to translation. We'll go back here to this document. The Translator tool is really neat. It offers you several languages. You start the translation by clicking the icon first, and you get this pop-up that you can left click on and move out of the way of your text if needed. Click Preferences to see that it defaults to Spanish. So your translation would be from English to Spanish. You can also pick French, German, Italian, or Portuguese. I will leave it Spanish. You can also see you can change the colors of the text box, but I'm going to leave it just like it is. So when you click on translation and go to your document, if you highlight a word, it shows up in the translation box. So here you have the word lawsuits. And here are different Spanish pronunciations of the word. Now, if you want the computer to read that back to you, simply go back to the play button and use screen reading.
Microsoft Word document.
Now all you have to do is hover over a word and it will read to you in the translation box. So let's find a word again.
Lawsuits. Pleado. Litigio. Proceso. Demanda. Axiom. Microsoft insert play. Use screen reading.
So you see how you can see and hear the pronunciations of that. You can also select to have more than one word translated. I selected the one word translation because that's what I needed for this example. You can select paragraph as well. Let's give PDF Aloud a try. To get started, click the PDF icon. You'll be prompted to locate or upload your PDF. Mine is on the desktop, and I'll go down through and select a section where I want to start reading. To start reading, I'm going to click on a word.
Colette turned and began to walk away, then stopped. You do realize Jevia will be coming for you first, don't you? You are the reason he has been gone all this time.
Okay, so it's that easy. And you can see, too, that it picked up some things that sounded like spelling errors. So this is great if you're writing a paper. You know, your instructors always advise you to read it out loud. Sometimes it just feels kind of weird. This way you can have it read aloud to you. It's also great when you're creating speeches for your oral communications classes. Let's go back to some research now and explore the highlight tools. The highlighters give you a chance to arrange research material. So let's say in this information, I want to highlight some information about Brown versus the Board of Education. Let's say I want to put the places in yellow. I'll highlight all the places in yellow, or some of the places in yellow. We'll stop here. I won't highlight them all. And then let's say we want to put the names of the organizations involved in blue. Is there another organization? There's the Board of Education. And let's say maybe I want to put dates in green. So let's say early 1950s in green and 1951 also in green. Now, I could clear these by clicking this button, but I don't want to do that right now. I want to collect them instead. And to do that, I click this button. It gives me a chance to order the highlights by color, by collection time, or by position in the document. I left mine as color because I like color coding. And then click OK. And so then you see you have a list of items put together by color, even though they were in different places on the page. And you can see here that since I highlighted the A from Carolina separately, that it was also tagged separately, but I deleted the space and added that back easily. So this is helpful if you're gathering facts, a lot of facts from different places. And you could organize information by source with different colors or page numbers with different colors. There are a multitude of ways that you can use the highlighters. Okay, let's try the vocabulary list. I'm going to click on the icon and you see a window appears. Now you might have a page open that you're studying from or that sort of thing, but I'm just going to start here. So let's say that I'm studying about parts of the eye. So I'm going to put in cornea, and I'm going to add it to the list. And maybe I'll put in iris and add it. And what else is there? Let's add pupil. Okay, so we've got a few basic parts here. Oh, let's add retina. Let's add one more. And let's call it parts of the eye. Now, we can include images for this if we'd like, and I'm going to click that. And when I click OK, this is going to create a vocabulary list for us that also includes our definitions. So there's our vocabulary list. Here's the subject. You see cornea gives a definition, gives an image. The iris also gives an image. And here's pupil. Now, this is not the kind of pupil we're talking about. So you can delete that, and you can see that the next image is in its place. So this is a handy tool to have, and you see, I mean, it's really helpful for these medical diagrams even. Let's look now at the word cloud. If you click the drop-down menu, you see you have word options. You can select the color, and you can even select the shape. You can select it as a list or as a cloud. I'm going to leave it as a cloud. I'm going to set it at the top of the screen. I'm going to include less frequent words. And I'm going to say OK. Now for this to create a word cloud, I highlight the information that I want considered, and then I click the icon. Here's all the text that I've put in, and now just create. And there are the keywords picked up by the word cloud. Okay, one last thing for this, voice note. The voice note is a handy tool. Let's say maybe you're reading along and you remember that the teacher said this information would for sure be on the test. You can record a note reminder to tell yourself that. Just click that and you see the little wavy lines. As long as you've got a microphone connected, then you'll be able to use this feature. So I'm going to start recording, and then I'm going to say, this will definitely be on the test, and then stop recording. So now I can select where to put that. Let's say I've got my recording already done and I want it to be here at the end of this, and I'll just say insert. And that's exactly where my recording will be. I can click on it now and play it back. It's rather low, so I don't know if you can hear it, but it recorded my message and put it in place. Again, here's the help tool. Don't forget, you can access these videos, video tours of each function by clicking the drop-down menu and going all the way to the bottom. The research tool and the study tools are so similar that this tutorial will cover them both. Let's take a look very briefly at the study tool. We'll go to current toolbar and go to study skills features. And you'll see here it's just an abbreviated research toolbar. You have your highlighters, you have the collection ability, you have vocabulary, word cloud, and note. Thanks for checking out this tutorial, and I hope it helps.